All right, guys, so let's talk about connotation if you missed my presentation the other day. So, connotation versus denotation. So, connotation is the feeling that a word evokes, okay? It's the feeling a word gives you. So, group and technique. Group and click. I apologize. Group and click, right? They both have the same meaning. They mean the same thing, but click has a more negative connotation, right? So when you hear the word click, you think catty, you think mean, you think they don't want anybody else in their group. But ideally, the denotation, the dictionary definition, several people spending time together who have the same interest. Group and click mean the same thing in the dictionary, okay? But we choose to use certain words to evoke certain feelings, okay? So connotations is the feeling that the word evokes. All right? Denotation, think D equals dictionary. All right? So if I ask, what's the denotation of angel? You would say, oh, it means spirit, it means heavenly being. But if I said, oh, what's the connotation? You would think, oh, someone who's really nice and you obey all the rules and you're a really great person, right? So those are two different things. Even though denotation means like heavenly being, the way people feel about the word angel is very, very positive. Okay, so you can have positive connotations or negative connotations. Like, for instance, the word fat and heavy, right? Fat is definitely very negative, and heavy is more positive, but overall, they're both calling someone bigger. So, here's some examples. So, we have chicken, a barnyard fowl, chick, a baby chicken, snake, a reptile, and home, a house. These are all denotations, dictionary definitions. So, but these words can evoke different feelings depending on how we use them. And culturally, these words evoke different feelings, especially in like the American culture. So, the feeling the word evokes. So, for instance, chicken, right? Even though the denotation of chicken is a barnyard fowl, an animal, right? We know chicken can also mean someone who's afraid, right? Another word for chick. We know that in the dictionary means a baby chicken, but the connotation of that, and I'm like, oh, all those chicks over there are laughing and giggling. I'm talking about a girl or a bunch of girls. Snake. If I say, ooh, this person is such a snake, they always do me dirty. I'm not saying they're such a reptile, right? I'm not using the denotation. I'm thinking about the connotation of the word. And the connotation of snake is someone who's sneaky. And lastly, home. Home is not just any old house. That's the definition in the dictionary. But to me, that's where I live. That's my personal thing. It's where I sleep. I feel differently about a home. Some more examples. So if you call someone thin, that's more positive than calling skinny. Conversational means like you like to have conversation. That's a positive thing. But if you call someone talkative, it means like they talk too much. So although these things have the same denotation, they both in the dictionary mean something like you like to talk, you like to kind of have conversation with people, you talk a lot. But um, when we use them in person, talkative is a negative, it's more negative connotation. Just like young and childish, right? Being young is a good thing, but being childish isn't. But they both just kind of mean that you aren't old enough. Debate and argue, right? Debating, you're also arguing. Sorry, I have viruses. But you rather say that you're debating with someone. There is a debate club in high school. There's not an argue club because that sounds immature. That sounds like you're just yelling at each other. While debate sounds like you know what you're talking about. You have points, even though they both mean to argue your point. They both mean to say what you feel. And lastly, confident, arrogant. Arrogant kind of means someone who's cocky, thinks they're better than someone. But guys, so does confident. People who are confident also kind of think highly of themselves, right? And even though we want to be confident, sometimes if we're too confident, it goes over to being arrogant. So arrogance negative, confident is positive. And here's a poem, and we read a poem together, and we talked about the connotations of the poem. So, for instance, he called Angel kind of chubby. And, chubby might not be the best word, but he didn't call him fat, right? So that can kind of mean, oh, okay, this guy, he's trying to be nice, right? And then we go over here, talks about how Eric sings like an angel. The author used angel for a reason. The author didn't use the word good or amazing because angel has a strong